I didn't actually see any dogs like wee in the pool, and also there were no floaters. That was the other thing I was like a bit concerned about. I was like, what if a dog poos in the water? Deep into the fashion world, everyone kind of knew each other, and I was there like, hi, I'm the horse girl. But hello everybody, and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. Before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Redpost. Redpost is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, but they also ship all over the world. Also, now it's coming into autumn, we're starting to think about, darker times. That sounds a bit bad. Not darker times like that, but it's getting darker over here in the UK a little bit earlier. The horses are going to be in a little bit more in their stables due to poor weather. We actually had a really big storm the other day as well, so it's that time of year where you need to start to think about all of the rugs that your horses need, maybe getting them some stable toys to keep them occupied, especially if you have a horse. Hopefully you don't, like Joey, who was on box rest the whole of last winter. So if you want to check out any of those bits and bobs, be sure to head to redpostequestrian.co.uk. Also, winter jackets, that is an essential. The one thing to keep you happy and warm during the winter is having a good winter jacket, because I actually have friends in Iceland, and they always say their kind of thing is it's never the weather that's too bad, it's the clothing that you're wearing isn't good enough for the weather. So there we go. Also, winter wellies, make sure your wellies don't have any holes in, because if not, you might need to get a new pair. I've made that mistake once before, when you just like kind of step into a puddle and you're just like, oh my goodness, my sock and my foot is sodden through. Alright, so I feel like the past week has been a bit of I don't really know how to describe it, like an all over the place week. Like I've done lots of very different things. So I thought I would first talk to you all about my mum's birthday. So it was her birthday the other day, and my brother and my brother's girlfriend are both uni students, so they had the day off. I obviously took the day off. My boyfriend unfortunately was working, and then also my grandparents came, and obviously my dad was there as well. And we went to, I don't really know what to call it, it's kind of like a country fair / wood fair / kind of festival harvest kind of thing in some woodland, and it was actually at a place where me and my brother as kids would go all the time. If my parents didn't know what to do on a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that, we would just go to this place, and it was very nostalgic because last time I went was about 10 years ago. I think it was exactly 10 years ago. And so 10 years ago, I would have been in year 8 at school, and I would have been 12. So that's how long ago it was. So me and my brother, and my mum actually, my mum really enjoyed it. We kind of had this weird nostalgia day. So for example, at this fair, they had a little steam train. And my brother, actually, and me, I really enjoy going on the train, but my brother, his favourite thing as a kid was trains. So we actually went on the train again, and it's one of those things where when you're a kid, everything seems so much bigger than it actually is. So I remember going on the train and being like, oh my gosh, the train is so much smaller than I remember it being. And also it was a lot slower. The speed of this train, I probably could easily jog faster than it. Also, there was one point, the guys always keep your arms and legs inside the carriages at all times. There was one point where my leg just kind of stuck out a little bit, and I got told off, and my mum was like, you would always get told off on the train. So there we go. The track was a little bit longer than before, so they have extended it, so that was quite cool. And we walked around the woods and things. There used to be loads of little, I was going to say houses. They're kind of like mud hut kind of things, and they'd all gone. So part of it was really cute, and I had so much fun, and it just reminded me of my childhood, but also part of it was kind of sad. There were just some things that weren't there, or some things that had changed, or some things that maybe looked a little bit more tired, and maybe I think less kids go there kind of as a family day out. So that was a little bit more sad, but it was also very cute. There were loads of little shops, and my favourite bit was all the kind of food stalls there. So they had a fire engine that cooked pizza. That was quite cool. They had the thing my mum was most excited to see was the dog and duck show. So basically there were these collies or sheepdogs, and for health and safety apparently they couldn't get them herding sheep, so they were herding runner ducks instead. Apparently they are they normally do ducks anyway, so the ducks are used to it and the dogs are used to it and are well trained and that kind of thing. And me and my mum were like, oh my goodness, we need to get some runner ducks. They are the cutest thing. There's also this account I see online, and she has loads of runner ducks and keeps them in her garden, and I'm like, that's the dream. That is so cute. So you never know. One day I would love to get some. What other things did we see at the fair? That was kind of it, really. We just had like a good old mooch about. Oh, they had some goats and sheep there. That was really cute. So that was like a proper good old, country day out. So that was really lovely. And then after that, or like the day after, I had a very, very different day, and that was in London, in the city. So I was very kindly invited by Stella McCartney and Net-a-Porter to be invited to like a little cocktail evening kind of thing. So that was awesome. I actually got to go to the Stella McCartney offices for the first time, which was very groovy. They have like a little, like in the reception, if like they have like a old kind of like car, but like it's been chopped in half, so you can just kind of see the roof, and all the floor's concrete, so it looks like the car's kind of melted into the concrete, which is quite cool. And then we went up in the lift, and basically there was like a little room where they had like lots of clothes, and they were getting ready for Paris Fashion Week, so it was a little bit hectic but in a cool way. And I got to try on different outfits. I ended up wearing this, you probably have seen it on my socials, but it's like a knit top and skirt cord. The skirt has little slits going up the side with, I was going to say orange horses. I know they're like chestnut horses, but they were more of a vibrant orange. So that was really cool. They actually had lampshades at the kind of event / show in the same like pattern as me. So, I was coordinated with the lampshades. But yeah, so after, trying on the outfit, we actually, me and my boyfriend very kindly came with me as my +1, and when we were trying to get to the offices, we actually ended up getting a little bit lost because it's quite near where Westfields is, which is like the big shopping centre in London. And I've never been, actually I don't know if he's ever been there, but I'd definitely never been there before. It's somewhere I've actually always wanted to go because it does look pretty cool, but I'd say like if I was going to go like to a big shopping centre, Bluewater would probably be a nearer one for us. But anyway, so had a little walk around there, and we got very lost. We got confused between the M&S and the Waitrose and the John Lewis. They all like were kind of like the same direction, and we're like, have we been in the shop before? We're like, no, that's different. Anyway, we managed to escape Westfields in the end and get to the offices in time, just about. But yeah, then we went to the evening, which was very cool. They had, we actually arrived there at like quite a good time. I thought, oh my gosh, we're like here like on the dot. We're going to be like so early. But actually, there were a few people in there already, which did mean that it wasn't like too busy, that we managed to get lots of good photo opportunities. And then started chatting to a few people, but it was very much like, I feel like everyone was definitely like deep into the fashion world. Everyone kind of knew each other, and I was there like, hi, I'm the horse girl. But no, I got chatting to quite a few nice people. It was really cute. They also had a little bit of a show on as well, which was cool. So they had all of these actors obviously dressed head to toe in Stella, and it was kind of like a bit of a mystery, which I quite enjoyed, which was cool. And basically the mystery was someone had stolen the projection that we were going to watch of the horses doing all the liberty and that kind of thing, and that disappeared. So we had to try and figure out who it was, and we had these like little bingo cards as well that we had to cross off. So yeah, it was a very lovely evening. So thank you again, Stella McCartney and Net-a-Porter, for inviting me. So yeah, that was a little bit different to a dog and duck show. There we go. And then also recently I have been dog swimming again, but this time I actually went somewhere different. So they before, whenever I've gone like doggy swimming with Ruby, my boyfriend's dog, we've always been to this place which is kind of like in an industrial estate in one of the units, and they just have this like big indoor pool that you can get in with them and that kind of thing, and it's heated as well, I'm pretty sure. So because every time I've actually been in the winter, so I've never been in the summer, so that might have been a better plan, but it is heated, so it's fine. But anyway, the pool that we went to was it wasn't a dog pool, it was just like a normal it was a human pool. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. And basically they did like a doggy afternoon where everyone can go in the pool with their dogs. I think you did have to be over 16 to get in the pool though with all the dogs. So I felt bad for there was this like kid and they were on the side and I could just tell they really wanted to get in the pool, and I was like, I feel so bad for you. But we had honestly so much fun. I think we were a little bit not worried, but at first when we found out, okay, there's going to be like a lot of other dogs, like you do have to be careful sometimes, like obviously not every dog is going to be as well behaved as yours or as friendly as yours and that kind of thing. So that's like one thing, like I'm always like with like dog parks and things, just like a little bit on edge, do you know what I mean? But anyway, the dog pool was fine because all the doggies were just swimming around, you know, every dog was kind of like more focused on their human when we were in the water. Also the amount of dogs that had tennis balls there, it was so funny, and I felt so bad because Ruby didn't understand that all the toys that were in the water weren't her toys. So there were a few times where I could see like she'd locked on to somebody else's toy and was going for it, and then there was another dog coming from another direction trying to get this toy, and I had to like speed swim trying to get this toy before Ruby did, and there was a few times where she got someone else's toy and I had to be like, Ruby, drop it, and I had to be like, I'm very sorry that my dog's stolen your toy. I had to throw it back for the other dog. Also, yeah, as I said before, there were lots of tennis balls, and I think by the end of it everyone had swapped tennis balls at some stage. Like it was a big old tennis ball swap around. But so yeah, that probably wasn't the most hygienic. The other thing that I was thinking is that I didn't actually see any dogs like wee in the pool. That is another thing, because I feel like dogs more when they wee, like obviously the boy ones, you know, sometimes cock their leg up or they kind of like squat. So, and also there were no floaters. That was the other thing I was like a bit concerned about. I was like, what if a dog poos in the water? There was actually a few dogs that pooed like on the side of the pool, and one of the ladies that was working there was like kind of like washing it away, kind of thing. But yeah, luckily I didn't see any poos floating about, so that was all good. I feel like pooing in water isn't really something that a dog would do because they have to kind of like proper squat, don't they? And I guess maybe if they were on like the steps, I guess they would be able to touch the ground, but it was the sort of pool where dogs definitely couldn't touch the ground. Horses, on the other hand, the water jumps at cross-country courses that horses go in, I would like I've fallen in water before, and it is pretty nasty. Like every time I go in a water jump with actually all of my horses, I think it's like a thing, like when horses get into water they just want to poo. Like Casper would, I remember at Pony Club camp, he would always be the one that would poo in water, and my poor dad, especially when I was like maybe doing like junior camp when I was a bit younger, he would always be the dad that would very kindly like lead all the horses or lead Casper into the water, because Casper is weird with water. Like I was telling my friend on our hack that we had the other day, he doesn't like to get his hooves wet like at all, but once his hooves are wet he's fine. Like with puddles, he's like, girl, there's no point me going, like it could be a massive puddle and he'll still either like go around it or jump over it. He's like, I'm not getting my hooves wet. But when we do cross country, he takes like a minute or maybe a little bit less than that, depending on how often I've done cross country with him. Back in the day, he was pretty good. Nowadays, he's like, I'm too old for this. I'm not getting in the water. So he takes like a minute of being like, no, I don't want to. And I'm like, come on, Caspy, I know you actually have some fun in there. And then when he actually gets his toes in or his hooves in, he's like, okay, that's actually quite fun. And we'll just like zoom around and canter through. But I think it's the initial stage of getting his hooves wet. He's like, nah, mate, not for me. So anyway, yeah, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, horse poo in a cross-country course in the water. So yeah, if you're wondering, if you've ever been to the water at Hickstead, Casper's poo's been in there, Joey's poo's been in there, so enjoy. But yeah, we had so much fun at the dog pool. I think we ended up, it was not like a heated pool either, but luckily, actually, it was supposed to be like thunder and lightning that day, and we were like, oh my gosh, if this gets cancelled, we're going to be so sad. But luckily, it was beautifully sunny when we were at the dog pool, and I feel like I'm pretty good at getting in cold water, and I was fine. It wasn't actually that cold. But when you've been swimming in there, and you're not really like proper swimming when you're with the dogs, are you? You're not like doing breaststroke or front crawl or trying to get your laps in, like intense gym bro. You're very much just kind of like bobbing about with the doggies. Actually, I was probably doing the most swimming because I was trying to get all these toys that Ruby was trying to, you know, snatch up that weren't hers. But anyway, so we were probably in there for like an hour and 20 minutes, and around that stage we were like, okay, like there were barely any dogs left in the pool. It was so cute seeing all of them though. There was like a little sausage dog with this old lady, and she was just like holding it in her arms like a little baby, and they were just like bobbing about, and it was so fun. Oh my gosh, the cutest thing, there was this dog, I don't know what breed it was, I think it was like a mixture of things. It was so beautiful. It was like a blue merly kind of dog. It looked a little bit like a collie, but like it had some other bits in there as well. And oh my gosh, this dog was so cute. It had a life jacket that had a fin on it like a shark, and it was a blue one, and oh my gosh, it was adorable. So I feel like if you want to try and get your dog into swimming, I would definitely recommend going to somewhere a little bit smaller, like the one I said in the industrial estate, where you can get in with them. They have all the toys there. They have someone there that is kind of like always watching to make sure that you and your dog are safe, and also they had like life jackets there as well, so you can kind of like get them into it and get their confidence up. When Ruby, she's a lab, she just loves her swimming. She's like, let's go for it. Like even in the deep end she would like proper like dive bomb him and all that kind of stuff, especially if there's a toy, like if there's a toy about or a tennis ball, she's like, yep, count me in. But yeah, she was oh my gosh, she was so tired on the way home because the place that we went to was quite far out. So like the whole journey home, she was proper snoring. She was, so cute. Also, Ruby is very much more, I would say she's more of like a country dog than a city dog. So she doesn't really like go to towns with lots of people like that often. So, but she was so well behaved, like, not that she's not well behaved, but you know when dogs can just get a little bit more excited when they see all the smells and all the people and that kind of thing. But she was like so tired and so well behaved. We went to the marina afterwards where they have like restaurants and things, and we sat outside and had some food for our dinner, and she was just there like lying asleep. Like swimming really does tire out your puppies. So yeah, that was a really cute day. If you ever get the chance to go doggy swimming with your dog, and if they like swimming, would definitely recommend. And talking about Ruby, we've actually been kind of like looking after her. I see her most days anyway, but my boyfriend's mum and dad have been away and he's been really busy working, so I've basically just adopted Ruby for the last week and also next week as well, and I've been really enjoying having her around. She's kind of become like, I was going to say at first she was like an office doggy because she would literally just like, I mean, I didn't really realise until looking after her how much dogs actually sleep. I was like, what do they do during the day when people go to work and they're at home? And like, they just sleep. Like this girl, she has like a little spot on the sofa, which she knows she's allowed to go, and she's very well trained. She knows she's allowed to go on the sofa if there's a blanket, and if we say like, come on Ruby, ups, and she goes up onto it. But anyway, I'll just be like editing, and then behind me she'll be like proper snoring in the background. But also I think she's been a bit tired out because she loves being like a yard doggy as well, or a stables doggy. So whenever I like go up and do the horses in the morning, she's zooming around, especially as I actually filmed a video which hopefully will be already up by the time this podcast's up, where I called it like Meet Ruby or something like that, or Meet My Boyfriend's Dog, that kind of thing. And we actually had a very busy day the other day because we had the BBC News crew come over to the yard to film stuff about it was very kindly organised by the media team at Penguin, who are the publishers of my book The Starlight Stables Gang. So that was really cool. So I was talking about the book and the channel and the charities that I work with and that kind of thing. So we filmed like a little video with her helping me out getting the stables ready and things for the TV crew. So she had a lot of fun. Also, Joey has like this stable toy, which is one of those like jolly ball kind of things, and oh my gosh, she absolutely loves it. She like holds it by the handle. Actually, sometimes she doesn't even hold it by the handle. I think it's a little bit deflated by how much she's like played with it over time, and she'll just like grab it in her mouth, and her favorite thing is to run and drag it across the ground. So oh my gosh, there was once, I think we were trying to take a thumbnail photo, which is like the little photo that you click on a YouTube video to be like, yep, that's the one I want to watch. And it was with Mickey, and I think it was the maybe like tack cleaning one, and I'm proper laughing, and that's because when we were taking the photo, I could just see Ruby zoom from one side of the yard to the other with this ball dragging it on the ground, and it was just like comedy the way she just like suddenly came out and then went out again. And oh, that dog cracks me up. Also, something else that she's been doing recently, which is very cute. So she goes to like doggy classes on a Tuesday, like dog training and stuff, where they do like really cool stuff. Like she can hold a bucket on command and things like that. And they do a lot of like scent training as well. So they do one called Find the Glove, where basically at my boyfriend's house, they have this like stinky glove and they just like hide it around the house and they go, find the glove, Ruby. And then she'll like go sniffing around trying to find it. And sniffing is actually really good for dogs for like enrichment, but also like it really tires them out as well. So anyway, I have like a little grooming box in the wash bay that often I leave open because it's one of those like kind of like metal, you know what I mean, hard, solid grooming boxes. I kind of leave it open sometimes because I'm a bit lazy to shut it. And anyway, Ruby's favourite thing is to grab the glove from in there and come and bring it to me, or just like randomly place it somewhere on the yard. She accidentally placed one on the like outskirts of the arena, and my dad was actually mowing the grass around there, and he actually mowed over one of the gloves, but it came out completely fine. So that glove must have been like indestructible. I think it was a Lemieux one, but anyway, then also something she also likes to do, which is her new favourite thing, is if my grooming kit is open, she will grab brushes from my grooming kit one at a time and go and take them down the corridor to where the arena is. And again, we kind of leave the arena gate open quite a lot as well, so she'll just put them just inside the arena where the gate is. It's almost like she's making a little nest out of like toys and things. So I was like, where are my grooming brushes gone? And I go walk down the pathway and there's like a little trail of brushes to the arena. I'm like, thank you, Ruby, for letting me know I need to shut my grooming box. But it was very, very sweet. I'm trying to think of other things. She helped me muck out Duke's stable, literally by eating a little bit of his poo, which again, if you're eating, I'm very, very sorry. This probably isn't the podcast to listen to while you're eating, but unless you're like me and you just don't really care about stuff like that. But yeah, so there we go. I'm not gonna let her lick my face anymore. I mean, I try not to anyway, but that's just vile. But no, me and my mum actually, we went for a walk the other day with her. Basically, I was meeting up with my friend who keeps her horse at the stables down the road, and halfway of the hack, like we kind of like came to a junction and then went separate ways because she wanted to go one way on the footpath and I was going a different way. But anyway, when we were walking down the road, I was on Casper, by the way, and we think like some person must have like just thrown out the crust of their sandwich, because for Ruby, she was one lucky dog. There was a crust of a sandwich and then it was also like a little slither of cheese, so it must have been a cheese sandwich. And my mum didn't realise. We were just chatting and she was in her own little world. Like, it's a very like quiet village where there are barely any cars, and if there is a car coming you can always hear them. Anyway, she didn't realise that there was this like cheese sandwich crust, and Ruby was like, oh my goodness, yes please, and like it was gone, didn't even touch the sides, it was down her scrag in like 2 seconds. So anyway, she had a great time on that walk. And then it just made me think of, there's this like sort of like meme / post thing online of this dog that found a pie in a bush, and apparently every time they go for a walk, the dog always wants to check the bush in case there's another pie, and they call it the magic pie bush. So maybe this could be the magic cheese sandwich verge. So there we go. I wonder if she'll go sniffing in that area again to see if there's another cheese sandwich or cheese sandwich crust. Like, it really wasn't much. I know dogs shouldn't really have dairy, but I feel like everyone gives their dogs like a little bit of cheese, you know, the cheese tax. Everyone has heard that song online, or is that just me? But yeah, and then also as always, there's always something that goes a little bit wrong or that's a little bit embarrassing on my hacks with my friend. Luckily, this time it wasn't me. It was actually her horse. We finished our hack just as like rush hour kind of came about. So luckily, like, we did finish like before it got too busy on the roads. And when I say busy on the roads, I mean like there were 2 cars that went past at once. Like, it really isn't that busy. But anyway, apparently her horse, I didn't really see because her horse goes behind Casper. Her horse is quite young, so Casper's like the brave big boy at the front that's like, I will protect you and I know these parts, I've been here for 10 years and that kind of thing. And anyway, so apparently her horse sneezed as we went past these drivers and we were like, oh, thank you for slowing down and stopping and that kind of thing. Apparently this big bit of snot from her horse's nose went splat on the windscreen, like right on front of the like driver's face, and we were like, oh my goodness. And apparently she like put her windscreen wipers on and everything, and then it was just starting to like smear over the windscreen, and we were like, oh dear, that's a bit embarrassing. But you know, a horse is a horse. If you know they don't have tissues, they can't just blow their nose into a tissue, can they? So there we go. I can't remember if it might have been snot or it might have been slobber. Either way, a little bit gross, but there we go. Also on that hack, I got pooed on by a bird but didn't realise it until I got home. I took my helmet off and there was just like this big splat of bird poo, and I guess bird poo is supposed to be, I don't know if it's like, I'm not really like a super superstitious person, but people always say if you get pooed on by a bird it's lucky, but I don't know if that's something that people say to make people feel better because they've been pooed on by a bird. I don't know, let me know. I'd find that interesting. But yeah, that was the luckily nothing else was really that dramatic on that hack apart from a bit of snot and slobber. But there we go. So something I get asked a lot is, when am I next doing like meet and greets or signings or that kind of thing? And actually the next 3 Saturdays I'm doing like signings and things. So next Saturday, which I've actually got my little calendar up here, is the 30th of September. And I'm actually going to Newbury Racecourse with Lemieux, where they're doing this really cool kind of like season sale. So they have a lot of the stuff from a few winters ago. So the colour Paprika. Yes, Paprika, right? No, that's a really old one. Sienna, oh my gosh. That, I feel like time has flown by so fast. Paprika was back in like 2020. Sienna, that's the one. Paprika's long gone, sorry. I don't want people to think I'm a fake Lemieux fan now. It's just been a long podcast. There we go. Sienna, sorry. I think it's because I took photos at the same location for that colour in the forest, and I was getting a little bit mixed up. But anyway, sorry, Sienna, Fig, which I think Fig is probably one of my like top all-time favourites. It's like really dark purple, and also the beautiful marine as well, which is like a bluey green. So I have a lot of that stuff there as well, and other bits and bobs that is discounted, and the money to enter the kind of like sale or the shopping all goes to Wild Horse Welfare, which is Lemieux's charity partner, which is really cool. There's also a 4-legged special guest that's going to be there too, and I'm going to be opening the kind of event, and also I'm going to be doing some meet and greets, but all of the meet and greet slots are already booked. So if you're coming, really excited to see you. Then the weekend after that, I'm pretty sure, is Hoy's, which is also all booked out. We did, that was a little bit last minute, trying to get everything 100% confirmed. So for everyone waiting to hear what day it is the Saturday. Again, that's fully booked now. We put tickets online that are free, which just means that we know when everyone's coming, and everyone has like a time slot as well. So people aren't like standing in a queue for 3 hours. Like they'll get like a 15 or half an hour minute, that doesn't make sense, you know what I mean, time slot. So hopefully that will be a new, better way of organising meet and greets going forward, because and yeah, also just thank you to everyone that booked that. Like that was literally, the tickets for that was sold out within one day, like less than 24 hours. So thank you for all the love and support. And then the weekend after that, on the 14th of October, I'm doing a talk at the Cheltenham Literary Festival. So that is very cool, where I'm going to be talking about the book and a bit about the channel and the horses and that kind of thing, what it's like being an author and writing the story and the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. And then hopefully I'm going to be doing a bit of a meet and greet after that. So if you want to come along, tickets are still available for that, and the more the merrier, so hopefully see you there. And then as I'm listing off all the kind of public appearances and things I'm doing, I might as well just carry on and tell you what I'm doing for the rest of the year. So what else do we have? November, we have Your Horse Live, which is on the Sunday. I'm doing meet and greets, which is the 12th of November. And then what else do we have? I'm going back to Homestead Saddlery in Ireland. Both of them, the one in Northern Ireland and the one in the Republic of Ireland, and that's on the 2nd and the 3rd of December. And then the last show of the season, which is the London International Horse Show, which I've very kindly been made an ambassador, which is very cool, very honoured, is on the 15th and the 18th of December, which is the Friday and the Monday I'm going this year, because I think they know that the Saturday and the Sunday is always like pretty much sold out and is always really busy. So I'm going on the Friday and the Monday this year, which I'm quite excited for. So I'm going up for the day, then coming back, having the weekend off, and then going up on the Monday again. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my meet and greets for the rest of the year. I feel like from this point onwards, like in September, when everyone goes back to school and work and uni and that kind of thing, I feel like the next few months, they go by so quickly, like a flash. Like it's been and gone. Like it will be 2024 before we know it. And 2024, I feel like sounds way older than 2023. Like 2023, I feel like it's the same with ages as well. Like I feel like 24 feels so much older than 23. But then I also feel like 23 seems so much older than 22. And I'm 22 at the moment. So I feel like 22, you're 1 year off like 21. Like you're only 21 last year. But 23, you're 2 years away from 25. So there we go. Anyway, I feel like that's enough of me talking about life for now. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Just want to say a huge thank you again to Red Post Question for sponsoring today's podcast. Again, any autumn winter needs, head to their website. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed hearing about the Dog and Duck show, the Stella McCartney show that I went to, and also lots of stuff about Ruby. I feel like Ruby's been the star of this podcast. Like she has been the star of the my latest YouTube video. So if you haven't seen that, go and check it out, please. I'm going to be that YouTuber podcaster that like promotes their stuff, but you got to do it every now and again. Like it's kind of my job. I feel bad doing it, but there we go. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching or listening, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.